Hello, YouTube viewers out there. It is Sebastian of Sebastian's a Movie Game Time. And on episode 74, I'm going to be reviewing and talking about movies. Talking about and reviewing movies from the year of movies of 2000. Hello and welcome. Let's get things started. We have the first 2000 movie. We have a film called The First Final Destination. It's about a high school teenager who has a premonition of a plane of exploding until he gets kicked off the plane along with his fellow high school teammates get off with them. And after the plane explosion, the teenager and the rest of his friends, they find out they have a mysterious death wish by death itself. Final Destination. Well, this is the original Final Destination. I'm sure all you know that. It was a movie ahead of its time, and it has become it has become like a cult classic status. Well, it's basically a fun movie, Final Destination. It really is, with some of the great bizarre and accidents, moments, scenes in it. But it's really a fun movie, Final Destination. It's starring Devon Sawa, Ali Lauder, Carl Smith, Sean William Scott, Amanda Dittmer, and Tony Todd. I give the first Final Destination 3 out of 3 stars. We have a film called Hamlet. It's about set in the modern day world in New York City, where a man named Hamlet, as he avenges his dad's murder. Hamlet. Well, this is not this is taken from a classic story, of William Shakespeare's Hamlet. But this Hamlet version movie, it's set like at the modern day time in New York City. You know, I I really found it very interesting how a Hamlet based on Shakespeare classic that's set like in modern day times and like in New York City. I just thought it was very interesting. It really is. Uh, it's I thought it was a good movie, Hamlet. If you, if you come across this movie, Hamlet, again, it's not the classic story, William Shakespeare. This is just a movie, Hamlet, that's set in the modern day times. But yeah, I thought it was a different, unique kind of movie. Hamlet. It's starring Ethan Hawke, Juliet Stiles, Kyle MacLachlan, Sam Shepard, Bill Murray, Leah Schreiber, Tim Blake Nelson, Casey Affleck, and Steve Zahn. I get Hamlet 3 out of 3 stars. We have a film called Shiner. It's about a small town London boxer promoter who gets pulled right back into a life of crime as he goes up against his rival London crime boss. Shiner. This is a movie that I'm sure all of you has never heard about or never seen. Which, there were a lot of movies that came out in the 2000s and even in the 90s. There were a lot of movies that all of you's never heard about or never seen. And this is one of those movies that you never heard about or never seen. It's called Shiner. Um, you know, it's a, I, I think it's a good, British crime gangster movie. Um, I thought it was a good British crime movie. Shiner. It stars the great Michael Caine and Martin Landau. I give Shiner 3 out of 3 stars. We have a film or like a TV made for a movie called Cabin by the Lake. It's about a screenwriter man named Stanley who kidnaps different young women as he's working on a new script, while at the same time he drowns the woman that he abducts in the lake not far from his cabin. Cabin by the Lake. Well, this is a TV made for a movie or a TV made for series. No, I think it's a TV movie. Um, it used to come on. It used to come on USA Network. That was cable TV back then. Um, when I heard about this movie, Cabin by the Lake, and you know, I I think it's a I think Cabin by the Lake is a very psychological and good of a movie. It stars Judd Nelson. Judd Nelson. Judd Nelson. Well, I'm sure all of you know who Judd Nelson. I'm sure all of you out there who should know who Judd Nelson is because Judd Nelson he played one of the most memorable, or should I say, icon character. It's from a classic '80s movie. Uh, it's called the. Do you remember a film called The Breakfast Club? John Bender. That's the character. The John Bender, who's the rebel. That always gets in trouble with the principal in the Breakfast Club. John Hughes Breakfast Club. Well, that's Judd Nelson. If you remember that film, well, Judd Nelson he plays a character who abducts young women and he drowns them. So, in case if you're wondering what this Cabin by the Lake movie is about, now you know because I told you it stars Judd Nelson who kidnaps women and he drowns them. Um, and he's very scary in this playing this character. He's very scary and completely just his presence alone is just menacing. But he was great. Judd Nelson was great playing the character. He really was, and scary. Um, so yeah, Cabin by the Lake, it's a good psychological movie if you've never seen it or never heard about. It's starring Judd Nelson, Heidi Burrs. I get Cabin by the Lake 3 out of 3 stars. We have a film called Crime Plus Punishment in Suburbia. It's about a teenage girl who, along with her boyfriend, as she comes up with a plan to kill her abusive stepfather. Crime Plus Punishment in Suburbia. Um, well, it's another good. I thought it's another good film that I'm sure all of you've never heard about. Um, but yeah, it's a good thriller crime movie. I'll give it that. Um, with some great, with with great acting from a cast. Um, Crime Plus, Crime Plus Punishment in Suburbia. It starred Monica. No, let me. It starred Monica Keena, Vincent Cardizer. I'm a big fan of. Jeffrey Wright, James DeBello, Alan Bargan, and Michael Ironside. Crime Plus Crime Plus Punishment in Suburbia. I give it 3 out of 3 stars. We have a film called The Legend of Bagger Vance. It's about a troubled man who gets help from a mysterious stranger who trains him to become a golfer as he plans to get back right on his feet again. The Legend of Bagger Vance. This is a great. Well, if you like movies about golf, if you like movies about golf or golfing, then this movie's kind of up your alley. If you like movies about golfing or know about golf, The Legend of Bagger Vance. I think I thought it was a good little drama movie. Look, The Legend of Bagger Vance is directed by Robert Redford. I'm sure you know Robert Redford. He's not just an actor, but he's directed movies, and this is one of the films that he directed. It's I thought it was a good movie. The Legend of Bagger Vance is starring Matt Damon, Will Smith, Charlize Theron, Bruce Miguel, and Jack Lemmon. The Legend of Bagger Vance. I give it 3 out of 3 stars. We have a movie called Drowning Mona. It's about a small town sheriff who is investigating the death of a hatred woman named Mona, who drove her car um off the cliff or drive her car off into the river. Drowning Mona. Well, I mean, this is a comedy, or should I say black comedy movie. Um I really quite found this movie very, very entertaining. I think it's a good it's a good crime movie. It really is, with some funny black humor stuff in it, and the cast is just great. All the casts were all great in this movie. It's starring Danny DeVito, Bette Midler, Nev Campbell, and Jimmy Lee Curtis. I give Drowning Mona 3 out of 3 stars. We have a film called Reindeer Games. It's about an ex-con who's out of prison gets pulled back into a world of crime by criminals who tells him to rob an Indian casino during Christmas Eve. Reindeer Games. This movie has twists and turns, suspense, excitement, action packed. This movie has all that. Um, Reindeer Games, when it first came out, it quite didn't do so good. But over the years, I kind of find it like a cult classic movie. So yeah, Reindeer Games is a cult classic. I thought it was an entertaining movie. It was, and sadly, Reindeer Games. It's directed by a filmmaker named John Frankenhammer. And if you don't know who John Frankenhammer is, well, you have probably heard about or seen his other movies in the past. Um, John Frankenhammer. Well, he directed movies like The Measuring Candidate. I'm sure all of you out there have seen The Measuring Candidate, not the remake one, but the original with Frank Sinatra, Lawrence Harvey, Angela Lansbury, and Janet Leigh. So John Frankenhammer, he directed the original Measuring Candidate. Um, he directed a movie called The Birdman or Birdman of Alcatraz that stars Burt Lancaster. That's his movie he directed. Um, he also directed a movie called 7 Days in May. If you've seen that film, 7 Days in May, he directed that movie as well. Um, and and he's directed and his other movies I really like and enjoy. He had directed other films that I really like and enjoy. He directed a movie called Grand Prix that stars James Garner, Eva Mary Saint. If you remember Grand Prix, um, so he also went on to direct um, a movie that I really like. It's called Black Sunday. That stars Robert Shaw and Bruce Stern. I like that one. Black Sunday, really great suspense movie. Um, what else did he directed? But I think I think one of his most movies that he directed the most, I think all of you have seen or you've seen it. It's a film called Ronin that starred Robert De Niro, Jean Reno. If you remember that movie Ronin that came out in 1998, that was John Frankenheimer movie. Um, but sad and John Frankenheimer he directed the film Winter Games. But sadly, this will be John Frankenheimer's last movie, Winter Games, before I think he passed like 2 years after this movie, Winter Games, came out. So, Winter Games, it is considered John Frankenheimer's last last movie he directed before he passed. So, um, but so that's who John Frankenheimer is. Um, but Winter Games, it's a fun movie. It's starring Ben Affleck, Charlize Theron, Gary Sinise, Dennis Farina, Danny Trejo, and Clarence William III. I give I give Render Games 3 out of 3 stars. He do, we have a movie called Miss Congeniality. It's about an FBI agent woman who goes undercover as as a beauty pageant to lure out a criminal who's trying to kill the new beauty pageant queen. Miss Congeniality. This is a funny. This is nothing but a funny or comedy movie. It's really fun movie. If you've never seen Miss Congeniality, I highly. It's really a fun movie. If you never seen or if you never seen this movie, never heard about, watch it. It's really funny. You will like it, Miss Congeniality. Really, it's really funny. Um, just fun. Miss Congeniality is starring Sandra Bullock, Benjamin Bratt, Candice Bergen, William Shatner, Ernie Hudson, and the great Michael Caine. Miss Congeniality, I give it 3 out of 3 stars. We have a film called Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's about a Chinese woman princess who wants to become a warrior as she steals a samurai sword as 2 expert martial artists planning plans to you know as they plan to get the sword back. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. This is a beautiful. Just the cinematography. The entire the movie it's shot beautifully, and the cinematography it's really gorgeous. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's a really good movie if you've never seen it, and some of the martial arts stunts just just great. Um, it's a great movie, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. If you never heard it, if you never heard about it, if you never seen it, it's starring Chow Yun Fat, Michelle Yeoh, and Zhen Ji, and is directed by Ang Lee. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I give it 3 out of 3 stars. We have a sequel, Disney sequel movie, The Little Mermaid 2, Return of the Sea. It's about the daughter of a mermaid named Ariel from the first Little Mermaid film, who won as Ariel's daughter wants to go out to the seawater, as Ariel won't allow her daughter to go to the outside waters. Um, the Little Mermaid 2, Return of the Sea. You know, I know what you're gonna say. The original Little Mermaid's a classic. Sure, it is. But this is a sequel, a direct to sequel Disney movie, Little Mermaid 2. As much as the first one is really great, as much as the first one's really fun Disney movie, um, The Little Mermaid 2, it's a good, it's a fun sequel. I'm thinking, kids of all ages would appreciate this sequel, The Little Mermaid 2. Oh, if you never seen the Little, if you have not seen The Little Mermaid 2, if you have Disney Plus, if you have Disney Plus, you can find The Little Mermaid 2 on Disney Plus if you have it. Disney Plus, I mean. You can see Little Mermaid 2 if you have Disney Plus. I'm sure all of you do out there have it. So you could watch Little Mermaid 2. It's on Disney Plus. Um, The Little Mermaid 2, it's a fun sequel. Again, I think I think younger kids would appreciate it or enjoy it as much as they enjoyed the first one. The Little Mermaid 2 is starring the voice talents of Tara Strong, Pat Carroll, and Jodie Benson. I give Little Mermaid 2 3 out of 3 stars. And finally, we have the last movie of the 2000s. We have a film called Coyote Ugly. It's about a young woman who wants to become a singer who gets a job at a nighttime club bar where the other women dance on top of bars and serving drinks to customers. Uh, Coyote Ugly. Well, I'm sure all you know have seen this movie or know about this movie because if you go to Las Vegas, and I think the hotel is called New York, New York. There's there's an actual bar that's called Coyote Ugly that they made it into a bar in real life where they serve drinks and where people get drinks. Um, but this is a movie, so they kind of made the bar Coyote Ugly, taken after the movie. Coyote Ugly, this is a fun movie. With a great, I mean, what a great rising with a great young cast of stars. Really, really fun movie. Um, it's produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. Coyote Ugly is produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. A producer I'm a producer that I'm really a fan of, Jerry Bruckheimer. Um, Coyote Ugly, it's a fun movie. I'm sure all of you may appreciate it just for the fun of it. Um, Coyote Ugly, the movie, it's starring Piper Prebro, Maria Bello, Bridget Monahan, Tyra Banks, Melanie Linsky, and John Goodman. Um, Coyote Ugly, I give it 3 out of 3 stars. Okay, everybody, that will do it for episode 74 of Sebastian's and Movie Game Time. Thank you for watching. Make sure hit the like button and subscribe and get the content episodes. Thank you for watching, and I'll see all of you at the movies.